0-point energy, 0-point field. The power of our thoughts are understated and never given any weight. Thoughts come and go. But when we give energy to that thought, it forms an intention and action will be followed up accordingly. We never give credit to any of our thoughts and do not know the immense power of what our thoughts can do. The power of positive thinking is never well understood, and the result is actually immeasurable. When we are able to understand how our thoughts can create and effect abundance or even misery for ourselves, this topic will not be missed, and there's great liberation and insight into what we should be conscious of in terms of our thoughts and action. So without any delay, let's get started. What is 0-point energy and what is 0-point field? 0-point energy is in fact a strange phenomenon in conventional science where it's impossible to justify and make sense of due to the third law of thermodynamics. This refers to a system at absolute zero temperature that exists at ground state will be absolute zero in energy. This means that at absolute zero, there is absolute zero entropy. Totally nothing. No energy or whatsoever. Why is it strange? It's because although it's not explainable in conventional science mathematically, but in quantum science, this is a known and verifiable fact. In quantum science, we can test this phenomenon, and the results shows that there are, in fact, fluctuations of energy in this zero-point state, which is described by the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. There are random quantum fluctuations of electromagnetic and other force fields that are present everywhere in the vacuum. In this vacuum, there is an immense field of energy that is fluctuating in and out of 0 point. This is the Casimir effect, where it is proven that 0 point is not 0 point after all. This was first postulated by Dutch physicist Hendrik Casimir in the year 1948 and was named after him. This experiment was done with two uncharged conductive plates placed in a vacuum with a distance of just a few nanometers apart. In the classical sense of the matter, there shouldn't be anything to expect and nothing will happen, right? But the unthinkable happened. When the plates are placed close enough, there is a force which shouldn't have been there in the first place. The plates suddenly attracted each other and were attached in the experiment. This is strange because they shouldn't have any energy that will make them attract each other since they are in a vacuum. And yes, there is a mysterious energy that somehow made the plates touch. So vacuum is not zero energy after all, right? This shows that there is energy at 0 point and there is a mysterious energy that's beyond the point of zero that causes the plates to attract from the 0 point field. Now, what is 0 point field in this case? As the name suggests, beyond the 0 point, there is this field with immense possibilities, abundance, unconditional love, and power. This field is called the field of endless possibilities. There is no limit in this field. This is a field of absolute power beyond imagination. We are in this field that is invisible to us but yet teeming with potential energy. So, what has it got to do with our thoughts with all this? Now, pay attention to this as this is too important to miss. We are energy beings thinking thoughts, which are essentially energy also, right? So this means that we are literally 0 point energy. The Casimir effect is seen as evidence of a sea of 0 point energy throughout the universe. We are a part of the 0-point field, and our consciousness is interacting with it at various levels at all times. What we think will put us in a certain brainwave state, which will interact with everything else and cause matter to manifest in our reality. Thoughts are equivalent to energy, which will also be equivalent to matter due to superpositioning, which means a state of potential between energy and matter. When we give energy to our thoughts and through conscious intention, we create and then it becomes matter. For the longest time, we are programming ourselves into all the habitual thought processes like worrying, being angry, fearful, critical, judgmental, overprotective, suspicious of others, and so on. We are allowing our egoic nature to take over us. We can't seem to be able to switch out of these modes because we are unconscious of our thoughts and allow them to control us. The next thing you know, you behave in exactly the way that you do not wish to be. We couldn't help it. We have etched the brain neuron pathway unconsciously by being not conscious of them. So they took hold and eventually turned into negative emotions which we acted out without any control. In order to undo the processes, we must be aware and conscious of our thoughts. When we are conscious, we are using our free will to create in the 0-point field. Replace each negative thought with a positive thought. When we are aligned with the divine through our true self, we tap into the 0-point field of unlimited potentials and possibilities. Abundance, joy, peace, health, creativity, understanding, unconditional love, and wisdom reside in this field for us to tap into. Say something nice to others, send good thoughts to others, start caring for others, and help whenever we can. Let's start to be more conscious and be aware of our thoughts by being positive and get into the flow by aligning with the field as we are ultimately each the energy source for limitless creation. Abundance and miracle awaits you.